Goins. I'm the host of this podcast and a realtor licensed in the state of Virginia. I work at the Cornerstone Elite Properties LLC, which is located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I service that area as well as all of Northern Virginia. Today we're going to continue part 2 of this podcast on home loans. This section covers first-time home buyers, grants, work history, and a lot more good stuff for you. I wouldn't try to do that without my co-host, Brenda Jackson, who works with American Financial Network. Stay tuned.
Now, a person you said you need 2 years within that related field. Don't necessarily have to be that same job, but it has to be in that related field to show, I guess, to show that the person is, what's the word I'm looking for? Sustainable.
Correct, or gainfully employed.
Gainfully employed, we'll go with that as well.
Yeah.
Sounds even better.
Yeah, because, we have people who are in the school system. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're a special ed teacher for 2 years, and then you become an assistant principal, and then you may leave the county, but you may go off to another county and become a principal. Mm-hmm. We will count that whole period as your work experience because it's all education. Mm-hmm. It shows progression within that field.
Okay. The person is, say they're not quite there yet. They're a year out, or 6 months out, or a year and a half out. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to improve their scores. What are some of the things they can do? Is say, for instance, is a revolving store credit, is that better than a Visa or MasterCard? Which one is better to have?
Well, revolving credit, it all weighs the same because your credit score is actually comprised of the amounts you owe, the length of time you've had credit, the balances, the types of credit, and your credit payment.
Okay.
So all of your accounts are used to come up with your score.
Okay.
Now the biggest part of your credit score is the payment history.
All right.
That counts for 35% of your score.
35%.
So it's really important that payments are made on time.
Okay. All right, let's talk about a topic that I really love, first-time home buyers and the first-time home buyers program. Mm-hmm. Can you give us information on that, the first-time home buyers program? Who qualifies for that?
Anyone who has not owned property within the last 3 years can be considered a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
In the state of Virginia, we partner with Virginia Housing. Mm-hmm. And Virginia Housing has some great incentives for first-time home buyers. They have grants for down payment, which is 2% of the purchase price. They have closing cost grants, and with these grants, you do not pay them back.
Wow.
But with Virginia Housing, you have to have a minimum credit score of 640. Okay. So there is a higher requirement for credit, and there are also some household income limits.
Okay. So I think what I just heard you say is that not only will you get the loan, but they'll make your down payment for you as a second loan you can have did you just say that?
No, for grants, they give you the money.
Oh, they give you the money?
They give you. For grants, the money is, you do not pay it back. There is also down payment assistance, which you can borrow a second loan or a second mortgage to cover your down payment. They do have programs to do both. And with American Financial, we also have a couple of down payment assistance options. We have a program called Chenoa, which is good in all states except for New York. And you can borrow up to 5%. And that can be used towards your down payment and your closing costs.
Okay, that's outstanding. The household income, so a person, they can earn up to like $100,000 and still qualify for this loan, is that correct?
For Virginia Housing, the Virginia Housing has a household limit of $145,000.
145. I knew it was pretty high. Wow.
145 for 2 people in the house.
Okay.
And if it's 3 people in the household, it is a limit of $170,000.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
But Virginia Housing looks at all household income. A straight FHA loan will only look at the applicants. So if you're, let's say, mother, father, and your 20-year-old child is in the house, and the mother and father are the only two on the application, it will only look at those two.
Okay.
It does not include everyone in the house.
So I know on the FHA, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong, do you have to live in the house? I'll ask it that way. Do you have to live in that house to get that loan?
Yes, for 1 year.
Okay. But you can't just buy it and say, I'm going to rent it out. You have to live in that home.
For FHA, if you buy a single unit, yes, it will be your primary home, and you have to live in it. You have to occupy it for a year. But FHA does allow you to buy multi-unit, like a duplex or property that has 3 or 4 units on it, but you'd have to live in one of the units for 1 year.
1 year, and you can rent out the other ones.
And you can rent out the others.
That is
and actually allows up to 4 units.
Wow, so quadplex pretty much.
Yes.
Absolutely, that's great. That can really help a person to get those.
First-time home buyers probably can benefit from FHA loans. It's probably the easiest loan to get because it has a higher debt-to-income ratio allowance, and the down payment is the lowest. It's a 3.5% down payment. The down payment assistance offers a faster way to get into a home. It's sort of like, I like to say, putting your down payment on layaway, because it is a financial obligation. You will get a monthly statement to pay it, but it will allow you to get in quicker than trying to save that money, before you make that move.
That concludes our podcast. If you'd like to be in contact with us, you'll see our business card on the screen. Contact us and we will respond within 24 hours. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful, blessed day.